I went through your draft carefully, and it's already very strong. The flow, tone, and pacing are solid, but I spotted a few areas where small corrections and polish will make it smoother and more consistent. Here's the cleaned-up version with mistakes fixed. He was her knight in shining armor until he became her executioner. This is not a fairy tale, but a nightmare that began under the neon lights of South Beach and ended in the cold, unfeeling dark of a Florida highway. Our story centers on a young woman whose life was brimming with the incandescent promise of youth. Anna Maria Angel was just 18, a high school senior with a radiant smile that could disarm the sun itself. She was an athlete, a soccer star at South Miami Senior High, her body strong and her future a wide-open road. She had a gentle heart, often volunteering with special needs children, and a fierce loyalty to her family, Colombian immigrants who had built a new life in America, a life they believed was safe. By her side was her boyfriend, Nelson Portobanco, also 18, a young man equally smitten, his own future intertwined with hers. They were the kind of couple you'd see laughing in the hallways, their whole lives ahead of them, a living testament to the American dream their parents had fought so hard to achieve. On the night of April 28, 2001, that dream curdled into a waking horror. It was prom night. The air was thick with salt and celebration. The iconic Art Deco buildings of South Beach bathed in a kaleidoscope of light. Anna, stunning in an elegant black dress, and Nelson, handsome in his tuxedo, were the picture of youthful joy. They dined, they danced, they lived in that perfect, fleeting bubble of teenage euphoria. After midnight, wanting to extend the magic, they took a walk along bustling Ocean Drive. The rhythmic crash of the Atlantic was their soundtrack, their hands intertwined, talking about college, about a life together, about everything and nothing at all. They never made it home. On the way back to Nelson's car, they made a fateful decision. Tired from the long night, they cut through a darker, quieter side street. A small choice, the kind we all make without thinking. But in the shadowy calculus of crime, it was the opening a predator was waiting for. A blue Nissan Maxima pulled up beside them. 4 men inside. The exchange was brief. "Hey, you got the time?" Nelson, ever polite, began to answer. In an instant, the scene shattered. The doors flew open. The night air, once filled with romance and laughter, was ripped apart by violent commands and the cold glint of a gun barrel pressed to Nelson's temple. They were forced into the back seat, crushed between their captors. The vehicle sped away from the glittering coast, heading north on I-95, plunging them into an abyss of terror. For over an hour, the nightmare unfolded. The men, reeking of beer and malice, taunted them. They robbed Nelson of his wallet, his watch, his shoes. They leered at Anna, their intentions becoming horrifyingly clear. Nelson, desperate and brave, pleaded, "Take everything. Just let us go." One of the men laughed, hollow and soulless. "Don't worry," he sneered. "We're just going to have a little fun." The fun was hell. The car eventually exited the highway, stopping in a wooded area near Boca Raton. Nelson was dragged out first, ordered to kneel in the dirt with the gun pressed to his head. He closed his eyes, whispering a prayer for Anna. The trigger was pulled. Click. The gun jammed. In that split second of chaos and divine chance, Nelson sprang up and ran. Branches tore his tuxedo, thorns ripped his skin, but he didn't stop until he found a house, pounding on the door, sobbing, "They have my girlfriend. They have Anna." Back in the woods, Anna Maria Angel was alone with 4 monsters. In her final moments, she was brutally raped, then executed with a bullet to the back of her head. Her body was discarded in the undergrowth, her black prom dress a shroud. The investigation began immediately. Police swarmed the area. A statewide manhunt launched. The Angel family, shattered, made tearful pleas on television, clutching vibrant photos of their daughter. The community was horrified and enraged. The break came when a Florida Highway Patrol trooper spotted a blue Nissan Maxima with a mismatched plate. Inside, Joel LeBron, Hector Caraballo, Jesus Roman, and Victor Caraballo, just 16. In the car was a .22 caliber handgun. Later, an officer noticed something glinting in LeBron's jeans cuff, a class ring engraved NPP, Nelson Portobanco Perez. The evidence mounted. Nelson identified LeBron as the ringleader. Forensics tied the men to the crime. Justice seemed inevitable. The four were charged with murder, kidnapping, and sexual battery. The state sought the death penalty for Joel LeBron, the trigger man. The courtroom became a theater of grief. Nelson testified, steady but hollow-eyed, recounting every moment of terror. The Angel family sat in the front row, a quiet, dignified presence. Then came the twist. Victor Caraballo, the youngest, agreed to testify against the others to save himself. His account was chilling. He described the abduction, the taunts, the rape. Then he came to the climax, the execution. According to Victor, LeBron handed the gun to Roman and ordered him to kill Anna. Roman hesitated. LeBron scoffed, snatched the gun back, and spat out the words. "What? You don't have the balls. I'll show you how it's done." He then executed Anna with cold precision. The jury returned swift verdicts. All guilty. Joel LeBron was sentenced to death. Hector Caraballo and Jesus Roman received life without parole. Victor Caraballo, for testifying, received a lesser sentence, a deal that left many bitter. For the Angel family, it was a kind of closure, but never healing. The void Anna left could never be filled. Nelson carried the survivor's guilt forever. The story of Anna Maria Angel is a reminder that evil doesn't always lurk in the shadows. Sometimes it pulls up in a stolen car and asks you for the time. A single, random encounter can snuff out a universe of potential, leaving behind only grief, memories, and a class ring hidden in a killer's cuff. Some monsters don't hide under the bed. They offer you a ride. If stories like this keep you hooked, hit subscribe for more.